So in order for a neuron to leave its resting state and go into an excited state, some sort of stimulus, spelled like this, has to occur. And that can be a sensory stimulus, a visual stimulus, which I guess is technically also sensory, but something happens. You hear a noise, you see something that causes the neuron to fire. And when it fires, it has to get this value up to negative 55 for the action potential to take off. That's called the threshold value. You'll see that in some diagrams, so I just wanted to point it out. So when the stimulus happens and we get to that negative 55 millivolts, because stimuli mean that sodium ions start kind of leaking into the membrane, which will raise the charge a bit. It will make it more positive because we're having positive charges flowing in. When it gets to that negative 55, something kind of wild happens. And what happens is we go into this state called depolarization. And during depolarization, it is all about the sodium channel. Sorry, my face is so big right there. So I have a little arrow that shows the direction that things are going to move. And during depolarization, the sodium channels are going to open, and all of these sodium ions are going to flood into the cell. Sorry, that looked weird. Flood into the cell. They're going through the channel protein, so I should drag them through there. And if you think about what is happening, we are having positive charges leave the outside of the cell and enter into the inside of the cell. So when we have all of these positive charges flooding into the cell via the sodium channel, the charges, oh, that's what happened. The charges are actually going to flip, because now the inside of the cell is super positive and the outside of the cell is super negative. I'm not moving all of the sodium ions into the cell because there still will be some residual ones like floating in the environment. So don't let that freak you out when you see it on diagrams. So to chart this out, I'm going to continue to go up. I'm going to make this line a little bit bolder so you can see it. And this color match the sodium channel. That state is depolarization. And when depolarization happens, we flip the charge from negative to positive, about positive 30 millivolts. And just for your notes, things that happen during depolarization, the sodium channels will open, and then sodium is going to flood into the cell. As a result, the cell becomes positively charged. So go ahead and pause this video and take your notes on it, and then proceed to the next step.